Alright guys, welcome to a Sephora recommendations video. This is typically the biggest sale of the year, once or twice a year, but I think now that the beauty space has just exploded, beauty, hair, skin, everything, there's so many retailers, they all do sales, so you don't necessarily have to wait for the sale. There's so many other retailers that do sales during the year, the actual brands websites, so I don't have that much stuff in my wish list, so I think I have like Natasha Denona's like chrome liners, the Rare Beauty like bronzer stick. I think that's really all that's in there currently. I signed up for the Sephora credit card like, I don't know, January or February. So my most recent video where I reviewed tons of makeup, complexion, etc., I had put in my big purchase then because it was 25% off when you sign up for the card. So I probably will not be picking up that much in this sale, but I do have a lot of recommendations for you. A couple disclaimers. This will be very complexion focused because there's not much eyeshadow stuff that I feel like I have to share with you, at least not from Sephora that you can purchase, that I've been really interested in. If you are interested in eyeshadow palettes, my Pinterest board will be linked below. Everything that I would recommend to you from Sephora is there. Hair care, skincare, scents, candles, everything, all the makeup, everything. And I also want to say that for the past few Sephora videos I've been doing as far as recommendations go, I've been excluding skincare, and that's just because the skincare I'm using for the past 2 or 3 years has been much more so clinical grade, medical grade. I know that term it can mean a lot of things to people, but I've just kind of veered away from a lot of Sephora type skincare. There's still excellent brands here. Paula's Choice is now there and it's awesome. Tatcha moisturizers, I will call this one out specifically. It's the Tatcha Indigo Overnight Repair. I received a sample of this and I used it and I was like, this is so nice. So I used it kind of sparingly, and good thing that I did, because then I ended up having an allergic reaction on my scalp, which then led to eczema on my face, my neck, my chest, my arms, just the top of my back. It was not good. And I had my remaining sample of this, and it was one of, if not the only thing that did not sting my face, where I was just like in pain, right? So I know I've promised this already, but I'm gonna do a video or a clip where we talk about sensitive skin products because I really went through it. There's probably like 15-20 things I'm gonna talk about. So right, highly recommend this. So in case you do like the eyeshadow I have on, it is the Viseart Neutral Mattes Milieu. This is the original like size. They now have minis. I think the minis are on Beautylish, but you know, this is basically what's on the eyes today, so that's a question you have. Okay, let's begin with this video. I don't want it to be long. It still might be half an hour, but that's just kind of how these videos go, right? Okay, so we're gonna talk about the newest complexion product that has just come out. It's the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow and has an SPF of 40. I have this on. I have the shade Light. I love, 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 love. I love this. I love it. It is so pretty. This is one of those products for me that will become like a daily. I've had it for like a week and a half. I want to wear it. I want to reach for it every single day. There's SPF in it. It's such a thin formula. It is definitely glowy, but not like I don't want to say dewy. It has like a really beautiful shine to the skin. I wonder if it'll show if I like swatch it for you. So that's the shade Light. There's just a very slight, when you can see where the light hits it, but it's just really, really beautiful. Now, if you want a comparison to the CC Illumination, I've never tried that one, so I don't know, but I love this. This is kind of close to a very light coverage foundation. I think a tint, although now the word tint means so many things, but I can't recommend this to you more. I think it's beautiful. I do have 2 others that I really like. One is just the Bye Bye Foundation, and I have this also in the shade Light. I love this. I think it's beautiful. This one has an SPF of 50 plus. And then I have the Bye Bye Foundation matte version. In the summer, I love using this by itself. I will often mix these 2 together, and now I have this one that we can kind of go into here. Now this one does, when you first swatch it out, it does look a little beige, at least this shade does, and it's that kind of like CC element of it, I think, because it is kind of a corrector. Or if you're familiar with BB creams, when you first look at it, it's a little grayy beige, and then it kind of like will slowly match your skin, and once you apply all of your makeup, you should be good to go. But I love this so much. I picked it up when their actual website did, it was like this plus that double-ended brush for like $32 or $33. It was an amazing deal. I'm so happy I have this. It is now being sold at Ulta and Sephora, so wherever you find is easier to pick this up, grab it. Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin, I feel like this is a very 50-50 foundation, so I feel like if you have oily skin, just stay away from it completely. If you have combo and dry, try it out, because it can look really beautiful. I think it looks beautiful initially on everyone, and it really depends on how you've prepped your skin, if you've powdered, if you have texture on your skin. I think this is kind of one of those, like, if you have pretty good skin, then you can have the beautiful skin that she is saying that you can get from this foundation. I don't know if it claims blurring, but I don't really think it does blur. So there's that, because sometimes I feel like when things are very skin focused, you expect a blurring element to it, and that's not always true. The next two are kind of older foundations. The Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. I'll list my shades in the description box. This is my second bottle. It's an all year round foundation for me. Generally, no matter what my skin condition is, it looks beautiful. The Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This is a great one to kind of mix into foundations if you have dry skin and you want a little more coverage and a little more staying power. And in the winter, or in the summer, it's excellent because, again, matte velvet, but it doesn't dry out your skin. It still looks really pretty. The Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint, so good. I love it so much. I put it in a cushion. I reach for it all the time. My skin is kind of more dry or having like more issues. I also really like it because it doesn't show, doesn't catch. So wherever I apply it, it still kind of looks pretty even. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful foundation. Newer ones, we have the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation as well as the Kosas. The Kosas is a slightly thicker formula, I think, compared to a lot of these other foundations. And the NARS is just, this kind of works in the same way that the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation works for me, the skin tint. This is slightly lighter coverage. I get a little more coverage with that, but it's very similar. This is a little more glowy. The wear time on this is excellent. I think the wear time on all of these is excellent, maybe outside of this. This one's a little more iffy, the Charlotte Tilbury. And then the Kosas has SPF 25. I don't like smell it or anything, but it does have a scent. All of Kosas products, Ilia, those kind of more natural brands with clean ingredients, etc., there's a scent. I always have to take time to adjust to it, but I would say I like the concealer way more than I like the foundation, even though they're very similar. I just feel like I have different preferences for concealer versus foundation. So if you want my top picks, as in things that I will see in my rotation often, the CC Plus Nude Glow from IT Cosmetics, the NARS, the Beauty Blender, and I think the Tom Ford. I would say these are like the ones I really would push on you if you were looking for a complexion product. I have the IT Cosmetics CC Nude Glow on my skin today, so if you're looking, trying to figure out what it is, that's what it is. So a few kind of glowier products. I'm not going to do highlighter in this video again because I haven't been that into highlighter, and highlighter there haven't been that many released, right? So first, of course, it's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is in the shade 2. They do have minis. I highly recommend getting a mini if you've never tried it before and you just want to know, because it's a really good price. I think it's like $15 to try it out. It's like a good size bottle. Unless you use this every single day, you're not going to go through it, you know? So I recommend this as like either a priming product or as a highlighting product. I also would recommend the Merit Kava Highlighting Balm. I have this down my nose and on the heights of my cheekbones today. And is that my hair or is that like the camera? I think it's my hair. Okay, so this is what I have. It's like just almost a clear balm, almost. I think there's another shade that's rosier and I could probably wear it and you wouldn't even really be able to see a huge difference, but that is what we have on there. It just looks like really pretty skin. This I picked up in the last sale. It's the Iconic London Radiance Booster. This is in the shade Shell. This kind of behaves in the same way as this. I think these have a little bit more coverage. Like I said, my color for highlighting and brightening would be Shell Glow. I also have Sand, which could add a little more bronziness and warmth to my skin. And it's just nice. You have a little pump. It's just a really beautiful glowy product that you can use in the same way that you would use the Hollywood Flawless Filter. If you've tried to use that as foundation or as like a skin tint, I would recommend trying this because there is more coverage. The two sprays I'm recommending to you are the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is a very setting type formula. And then the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Set Spray. This is kind of similar to this, but much more glowy. And I like using both of these before makeup and after makeup. So this one you can see we have gone through it, and I have another full size already. And then this, I think I bought this, and within a month or two I picked this up, so we kind of like really got into this, but we're back on using both equally. Before we get into concealer, I want to talk about the Beauty Bio Eyeliner Concentrate. I mentioned this in a drugstore video because I had mentioned the Pacifica Dreamlit Under Eye Wand. This is significantly more expensive than that. I believe it's $58. I picked mine up at Ulta with like points. To me, this is like a 3-in-1 product a little bit. It's very brightening. It's definitely a prepping product for under eye concealer. And it's also a little bit like a eye cream. Like if I don't put eye cream on in the morning, which rare occasions, but sometimes when you have to redo your makeup and you take everything off, I can just go straight in with this and then apply makeup on top of it, and it looks beautiful. So if you're looking for a product and you're like on the go and you just don't want to buy a lot of products, you don't want to layer, this is so good because it really, I see a huge difference when I apply concealer on top of this. And even sometimes concealers that you're like, oh, it's a little finicky, you apply this, it's going to be really beautiful. And over time, because it is skincare, it will help your under eyes, especially during the day, which, you know, again, the older you get, the more you're going to be looking for under eye. Everything under eye, you immediately are like drawn to. Okay, let's talk about concealers. At this point in time, I've mentioned this when I had reviewed these, whenever I reviewed these, and it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealers. I have shades 5 and 6. 5, I believe, is a little warmer, and 6 is a little more neutral. This is beautiful. Under eyes, I use it as foundation. Another one I would recommend as foundation is the Tarte Shape Tape Original. I use that as foundation in the summer. So beautiful, but I don't think Sephora sells it. That's an Ulta exclusive. But this, so good. If you haven't tried it, highly recommend it. Beautiful coverage, high coverage. Beautiful finish, and really great wear time. Speaking of exclusives, I believe the NARS Soft Matte Concealer is exclusive to Sephora, and Ulta doesn't have this. So I have it in the shade Macadamia. These do run darker than these things. So I have macadamia in both, but on the face, this can show a little dark on me sometimes. But the macadamia works out beautifully. I'm probably going to have to repurchase at some point. I use this in combination with the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in medium. So I'll apply this first to the outer corners of my microbladed brows that are messed up. So wherever there's a mess up, I use this first, and then I go over it with this to kind of clean up the area. So you can still kind of see a little bit of darkness there, but this combination for canceling out darkness, you can even try doing it on your face. You need the tiniest bit of this because, again, this is a eyeshadow primer, so it is very matte. So, but it's really good, this combination, for just canceling out your face, your whole entire face. So again, I have the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is also good. I think NARS is probably my favorite brand for concealing, like true concealing. Like you're trying to get rid of something, you're trying to erase something from your face. It's these two. Let them sit on your skin, and then like just take a very dense brush or a sponge, even a dry sponge, and just pat that area. You will cover so much. The Kosas Revealer Concealer, I love these. Again, the shade range, a little warm. So I would say 3.5 works on my face, closer to my face, and shade 3 works under my under eyes. This is a very full coverage concealer. So when I wear not a lot of a heavy complexion product and I wear this, it can look like I have concealer on, like just concealer. So keep that in mind when you're applying it, but it's beautiful. It's marketed as a eye cream plus concealer, and you definitely, when you put it on, you get that. Two of the newer concealers that I've talked about, the KVD, I have medium 131 for my under eyes, And again, this is a more matte formula. It's a very thin, beautiful matte formula. But if you have issues in the inner corners, or if you have fine lines where something's gonna crease, then you're not gonna like that. It's a great mixing one. It's a really great face concealer. I think it's interesting because this is part of the Good Apple line, and that Good Apple balm is very balmy, very creamy. I want to get it. I finally figured out my shade match. I think it's very difficult to find your shade in KVD products. Is it just me? Because I usually can do it and I have a hard time doing it. Like, as in like online, I can figure it out. But even in store, I've had to go back. I think I went back like 3 or 4 times to figure out my shade. So I like it, but you need to like know what you're getting into. And then I got the right shade for the LYS. I had picked up MG2 before, but now I have LN6, and it's what I have on my under eyes. I think it gives like a light to medium coverage. I build this up, but it says full coverage. I don't think so, but when you build it up, then you can see a little cake in there. But otherwise, I really like it. I've also used this one as foundation, and it's very, very pretty. Some oldie but good ones we're just gonna throw in there in case you have forgotten. The Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless, still a great concealer. The Rare Beauty, beautiful skin concealer. Under eyes can be a little iffy. The Bounce from Beauty Blender, I don't know if they still make this. I think so, I saw it. Good concealer. The Pat McGrath for the under eyes, also so good. I mean, also for the face, but really love it for the under eyes. It kind of has like that kind of stretch formula. This and the Charlotte Tilbury one with the little sponge, kind of similar. And then the Makeup Forever Ultra HD self-setting. Is this self-setting? Yes. Also really love this concealer for just everything. Okay, next let's talk about contour products. I'm a big fan of cream contours. We're going to talk about those. I have the Makeup by Mario, the light medium stick. We love this. I'll give you swatches in a bit. The Jouer, I have the shades in Sunset and Skinny Dip. The highlight on here is a little dark for me, so I don't really use it as a highlight, but the contour part of it slash bronzer part of it is really beautiful and cool toned. I have 2 shades from Westman Atelier, Biscuit and Truffle. Biscuit is the lighter of the 2, Truffle is a little darker and warmer. If these are in stock, I recommend them. These go in and out of stock often. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. I have a fair medium and I have a medium dark. And then I will be repurchasing these in the sale. The Huda Beauty, I say these because I'm going to get 2 shades. So the Huda Beauty Tantour, I have the shade light, but I picked mine up like when it was released. So mine's quite old, so I'm going to get fair, which is cooler. I'm going to repurchase the light shade. I just love this formula. I don't love anything really square like this, but I love this like formula, how you can just really get your brush in there. It's really, really nice. And you can use them as contour or bronzer. So we have the Makeup by Mario, the Jouer, Biscuit Westman Atelier, Truffle Westman Atelier, the 2 from Charlotte Tilbury, as well as the light Tantour from Huda Beauty. We're going to quickly touch on eyeliners that I want to recommend to you. I love these Too Faced Killer Liners. I've picked up so many shades. Some of them, I think maybe when Ulta had a sale, is the QVC or HSN that does really good ones. So if there's a shade you like in this lineup, which they have really beautiful shades, and the swatches are quite accurate. So if you like a shade, I would highly recommend these to you. The new Melt Slick Waterline eye pencils, mine is in the shade Caramel, and it's a very beautiful kind of, I would find whatever undertone your skin is and then go for that. So I kind of like, you know, have like a warmer undertone. So when I put this on, it looks really beautiful. It doesn't necessarily brighten, but it does kind of make everything look kind of more sultry but natural. So there's like a darkening of the waterline that's not going to close it off. So today I actually have, what do I have on? I think I have Too Faced Killer Queen, which is a plum in the waterline. It's really pretty. I picked up Storm, so I'm kind of excited about that, to try gray in the waterline because that always makes like hazel eyes look much brighter. And then this is an oldie but a goodie, the Urban Decay 24/7 waterline in the shade Legend. They only have one, it's black. If you want like a smoky eye, or if you just like lining the upper waterline for depth, beautiful. Literally, it's called Waterline Eye Pencil and it stays. It does a really good job. Okay, we're going to talk about lip products and then I'll tell you what I have on. For lip liner brands, I'd recommend to you the Pat McGrath, the Huda Beauty. The wear time on these Huda Beauty, so good, okay? The Charlotte Tilbury, as well as the Patrick Ta. These are my 4 probably reigning champions that you can purchase at Sephora. So I love these Tarte Maracuja juices. I think it's Maracuja. Maracuja Juicy Lips. My favorite color is probably grapefruit. Love grapefruit. They've released these new ones. They're the plumping ones. Oh, got a sumo hair. Get the original. I don't see a big difference in the plumping ones, and I don't find that the shade range is like that much more different than this. So I would prefer this one to you over this because I don't think that these are really that plumping. So there's that. Glosses, Fenty glosses. Still love every version of every color of everything that comes out from the Fenty line as far as glosses go. The new Patrick Ta ones are beautiful. Really love these. The Kaja Gloss Shot, these are also beautiful. This one is in the shade Honey Drizzle. Beautiful nude color, kind of milky. And the NARS lip oils, love them. This is Primal Instinct. I think this was a limited one, but if you find a color you like in this formula, beautiful. And then we have the NARS Afterglow Lip Balms. If you see these, beautiful. The NARS Matte Balms, beautiful. And then the new Makeup by Mario ones. This is Apricot Glow. I have two shades. These are really, really beautiful. Again, when I see the sparkles in these, I don't see them on my lips, so I'm like, okay. On my lips today, I have Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury, really lightly and blotted out, because sometimes when I apply almost like more than a couple layers of this, I end up with like that really dark lip line, which sometimes works, but not for today because I was trying to stay in the pink family. Then I have the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm in Laguna on to kind of blend everything out as far as the lip liner goes. And I topped it off with the Patrick Ta in Full Syringe. Because these are very sheer, I was like, I want it to be kind of pink, so this kind of will end up looking like a hot pink on you. So if you look at kind of where it's more translucent, you'll see that it's a little more pink and a lot less red, and that's the color you'll get on your lips when you apply it. So okay, all right, so we'll quickly talk about some face powders. A newer one to my collection, i.e. last year, the LYS. This is very pretty. It's a very thin formula. It can be a little dry, so I never have done my whole face in it, like when it's colder. In the warmer months, definitely. And it doesn't give off a ton of color, so you really can just use one the whole time, which is great. One of these like holy grail OG things is the Charlotte Tilbury. This really does airbrush. There's something, I don't even know. This is my shade 1. I also have shade 2 for when it's summer. It's just, I mean, I've hit pan, like it's beautiful. I will repurchase it when I run out. It is so incredibly beautiful. It mattifies just enough, it blurs for sure, and the wear time is excellent. If you got lots of pennies to lose, you can grab the La Mer, which I also clearly hit pan on, and it's so beautiful. It has a very good creamy, beautiful coverage, and I don't know how else to explain it, but I really love this powder. And then of course the Makeup Forever. I put my old one in with the new one, but again, repurchased it. It's beautiful. It has coverage. You can use it as a powder foundation, which is always a great thing. It's just another all year round powder. This is also another all year round because they're kind of like, they have like a creamy vibe to them. They have a very beautiful finish. It works well with kind of finicky skin. Okay, so loose powders, I have them on my vanity, so I just have the lids here because I'm not about to try and rearrange the puff and whatnot and bring them over and create a situation for myself. So the Kagendo loose powder, I am forever going to, I have always recommended this to you. I don't know when I haven't. I've like packed under my eyes. Packed, can't see it. It's just so undetectable. But again, this one does not blur. This won't blur your skin and won't mattify your skin. It'll just kind of set something for you. The Makeup Forever one I picked up last year. I think it was released last year. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. This is the one that will like mattify and blur and set. I haven't used it to finish my makeup necessarily, but I don't know if I really do it that often between like setting and finishing. It's either one or the other. And then the Décolleté powder I actually really love, but they don't sell that at Sephora. But very similar to this, where it has some coverage, some mattification, some blurring, just beautiful. Okay, let's talk blushes. We're gonna do cream first. These are more so just like the brand. I would recommend to you the color is up to you. I obviously veer towards peachy shades. So LYS, I have this one in Kindness. Their formula is beautiful. I don't know. Basically all these formulas are beautiful. Let's just say that. So they go on, you can apply them on top of a set face and on top of powder, and that is why they are here. Okay, maybe except one of them. This, I didn't know where to put it. This is the Huda Beauty Healthy Peach shade. It's her cheeky vegan kind of colors. They're kind of like a cream to powder. So I just put it in here. So I have the lightest shade. The Rose Ink, this is in Heliotrope. This has a very grippy formula. So I would be a little more careful with this one as far as like putting it on top of powder. But because it is grippy, it has really great staying power on your cheek. The Merit, this is in the shade Terracotta. When I was watching this, I'm like, oh, I forgot how pretty this is. This is such a gorgeous shade. It's really easy to apply. It's like lightweight. I don't know, I haven't traveled with this before, so I don't know about the packaging, but like, love this. The Tarte Breezy Cream Blushes. This is in Peach Sunset. Beautiful. And the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude Melting Color Balms. This is in the shade 51. Also a very beautiful color. So we have the LYS, then we have the Huda Beauty, Rose Ink Heliotrope, Merit Terracotta, the Tarte Peach Sunset, and lastly is the Giorgio Armani. These are all so beautiful. Okay, powder blush. The two that I love so much and I reach for all the time are these little tiny Dior blushes. They go in and out of stock, and mostly out of stock. I believe they went viral on TikTok, so it's that. But I picked mine off of Selfridges maybe last year. I have coral and I have pink, and I love them both. I have coral on. I reach for coral way more, obviously, because I'm really into peachy tones. The Patrick Ta blush, this is in the shade She's Blushing. I only swatched the powder for you, but this is the newest released from him. So this color, as well as everything in this palette from holidays last year, these have all been released individually, so you can get these individually as well, and they're all just so beautiful. You can put the cream on, put the powder on, or put the powder on and then put the cream on top. Either way, it's beautiful. The Makeup by Mario, this is Desert Rose. It's a very light shade on me. It's very similar to the Huda Beauty, like the Healthy Peachy one. Not the color, but just the way it looks. So they swatch like almost nothing, but they look really beautiful on the skin. There are darker shades. I just kind of went for this kind of like there but not there type color. And then the Pat McGrath blushes are beautiful. I try to kind of veer away from Pat McGrath stuff in these videos because her own website does such amazing sales, right? So from this palette, I have Desert Orchid swatch for you because this is my most used shade from her. So those are the two from Dior. That's the Patrick Ta, the newest one. I think it's She's Blushing. How insanely beautiful is that color? The Makeup by Mario, and then the Desert Orchid from Pat McGrath. Okay, last but not least, we have powder bronzers. The first one is the Luminous Press Powder from Huda Beauty. I have this in shade Tan Light. These are her face powder ranges, but I love this formula so much. I'm not obsessed with it for like a face powder because it is a little glowy and it's not for everyone. So we're not talking about that in this video because while I do really like it and I use it, I don't think it's necessarily something that I should be recommending to everyone and you buying it and not, you know, I feel like the probability of you liking it is much lower, you know, so I'm not going to guarantee any love there. But if you want it as a kind of glowy bronzer and you're my tone, I would recommend Tan Light. It is so beautiful. I have it on today. I wear it all the time. If you look at my pan, like it is very well loved. The Charlotte Tilbury bronzers, this is in shade 3. If you are my skin tone, shade 2 is a little cooler and very buildable. This one is obviously a little darker, so you need less building, so that's kind of why I have 2 of them. But if you're in my kind of skin tone range, those are what I would recommend. The Glowish Huda Beauty Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder, I have Tan Light. I also have medium. This is the one I reach for the most. They have come out with minis that are probably the size of the blushes. So they've come out with bronzer sizes like in this size, so I'm gonna pick one up because I would like to have one for my purse. The thing with mask wearing, I'm someone who's gonna keep wearing masks. Just personally, when I am out in public, I'm wearing one. I'm not playing that game. So my makeup often needs touch-up, and it needs touch-up way more than it used to. I never even used to carry makeup with me. I would carry maybe a lip, like an eyeliner and some eyebrow pencil, but now it's like you need to carry so many things because you're like, ugh. But yeah, beautiful formula. The LYS bronzer, I have mine in the shade Motivate. Beautiful. The formula is very similar to their face powder. It might even be almost identical, I feel like. You just know it's like an LYS formula. Beautiful product. Lightweight, matte. Makeup by Mario, I have light medium. This is a very powdery bronzer. So, you know, just kind of dip your brush in there, tap off the excess, and kind of pounce it on your skin. But very beautiful. I noticed how comparatively powdery it is when I was swatching, so I wanted to mention that. The Gucci bronzer, I have shade 2. I'm kind of like, do I want to try out shade 1 or 3? Because this has a very red base. It's very pigmented, and I really like it when I want to look tan, but I'm curious about something that I could wear a little more casually. And I have been reaching for this a lot, and it's the Dior Forever Natural Bronze. This is in the shade Amber. It has a little bit of a cool tone to it, but it's really beautiful, obviously, for contouring. I use it for nose contour a lot. This formula is really beautiful. I thoroughly enjoy the scent, but you know, that's just me. So the Huda Beauty Face Powder in 7. This is the Charlotte Tilbury number 3. Huda Beauty Glowish in Tan Light, LYS Motivate, Makeup by Mario, light medium. The Gucci in number 2, and then lastly, the Dior Forever in number 6, Amber Bronze. So I do go for a cooler bronzer to begin with on top of, you know, actually using things as contour. I kind of like the 2-in-1. I'm a big fan of 2-in-1. I mean, the 2-in-1 is always great, right? If the blush and the bronzer can be both, if the bronzer and the contour can be both, if you can find that like perfect shade of concealer that you can use kind of under your eyes and on your face, like, you know what I mean? Like, love when that happens. So that is the recommendations. Again, Pinterest board with every single item I would recommend to you will be listed below. If you have questions about specific things, like I didn't really talk about highlighter, eyeshadow in here, ask me down below, I'll let you know. And again, if there's any other retailers doing a sale right now, I will list that below too, because, you know, maybe you don't want to shop at Sephora, or if you're not VIB Rouge, you know what I mean, then you're getting 15 or 10%, which might not be really a big discount to you. And when a retailer is offering you 20 to 25 and you really want something, buy it from there, right? Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.